Okay, let me start the, ooh, back too far already. Okay, let's start the music. Everyone can hear that?
Kol Beit Yisrael, Acheinu, Kol Beit Yisrael, Hanetunim בצרה ובשביה, העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה. אחינו כל בית ישראל, אחינו כל בית ישראל, הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה. המקום ירחם, ירחם עליהם, ויוציאם מצרה לרווחה, ומאפלה ליורה, ומשעבוד לגאולה, השתה בגלה ובזמן קריב. המקום ירחם, ירחם עליהם, ויוציאם מצרה.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Rabbi Jill Jacobs. I'm the CEO of RUAH, and I won't say that it's good to all be together, but of course we need to all be together right now. I know that so many of us are sitting with so many emotions, shock, sadness, fear, anger, worrying, or perhaps even mourning specific people in our families and friends and broader community who have been killed and who are missing. And we wanted to provide this space for us to be together in a way that Jews know how to be together, which is reciting Tehillim, saying prayers together. We know that there's a lot of political analysis out there, and there's probably too much news and doom scrolling, and that there's times and places also for that. But for now, we knew that our community really just needed to be here to have a moment of pain together and to have a moment of prayer together. So I want to introduce now my colleague, Rabbi Jenna Shaw, who is going to lead us through the program today.
Thank you, Rabbi Jacobs. The Talmud tells a story of a rabbi who is grieving the death of his wife and chooses to bathe. And after he bathes, his students come to him and say, "Why did you bathe? Like, you just taught us that you're not supposed to do that." And his response to them is, "East and East Lee, I am sensitive." We're all grieving and we're all showing up in this moment differently and holding different pain. And let this space and let the words of our Psalms be an invitation to hold whatever pain and whatever grief you are holding in this moment. We are going to start with Psalm 120, led by Rav Claudia.
Good to be with all of you here. I'm just in a very, like many of us, in a very difficult time, both personally and communally, as I'm an Israeli, and most of my family is in Israel right now. Thank God they are physically safe, and so many friends are in danger, and I'm just praying. So I'm glad that we have an opportunity to be together. And one of the verses that I go to a lot is Gam ki elech begeit tzal mavet lo ida ra ki ata imadi, Psalm 120. When we are in the valley of the shadow. I do my best not to be afraid because I know you are with me. And I think about you, both as you, God, divine presence, the creator of all being. And I think about you, each of you, my community, my people, the people I love, the people that can support me, that I can support. So in moments of darkness, ata, at, atem, aten, imadi. And I'm going to try to sing, which is probably a bad idea because I can't stop crying, but you'll forgive me for not bringing my best musical voice, but the voice of my soul. גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות לא ירא גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות לא ירא ay 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 ki ata imadi ay 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 ki ata imadi גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות לא ירא גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות לא ירא ay 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 ki at imadi ay 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 ki ata imadi.
Thank you. And thanks for opening up and inviting us into the wisdom of our tradition, that the gates of tears and the gates of prayer are so connected and so linked in this moment. We'll turn to Psalm 120, led by Rabbi Amichai.
Hello, friends. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this circle with you all on this terrible day. It's an honor to be with Morotai, Verabotai, teachers and friends. Like many of you as we speak, my family, all in Israel, is dealing in all the ways we can. Thankfully, the most immediate family is safe, and many have been evacuated from the south. People are now attending funerals of friends and children and grandchildren of friends. And several are missing. And many are mobilized. This is an unprecedented moment for so many of us everywhere. And I am with my heart, with my friends, Jewish friends, Arab friends in Israel and Palestine, in the middle of this unprecedented horror of so many innocent lives taken. I'm thinking about my mother, who's 94 years old, at home in Jerusalem in between bomb shelters. And I want to send this tehillim, this tehillah, to all the mothers and fathers and grandparents and grieving, holding so much at this point. I'm going to read Tehillim 121. And I'm using this Tehillim that my grandmother gave my mother in 1950 when my mother made Aliyah from England. And this Tehillim has been used. My grandmother wrote to my mother, read a verse or a chapter every day. It will heighten your joy. It will lessen your sorrow. May you always read a verse in joy. So I'm not reading this in joy. I'm reading this in sorrow, and I hope you join me in this tefillah. And I will not sing as beautifully as Claudia did, but I invite you to chant this along with me. It's 121. שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי להרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. עזרי מעם אדוני, עושה שמיים וארץ. אל יתן למות רגליך, אל ינום שומרך. הנה לא ינום ולא יישן שומר ישראל. אדוני שומרך, אדוני צילך על יד ימינך. יומם השמש לא יככה, וירח בלילה. אדוני ישמורך מכל רע. ישמור את נפשך, אדוני ישמור צאתך ובואך, מעתה ועד עולם.
Thank you, and thank you for bringing her into this space with all of us today. We'll now turn to Cantor, Nancy Abramson, who will be leading us in Psalm 130.
Thank you. When I got the call, the email from RUAH yesterday from Rabbi Jill Jacobs asking if I would participate, my response was, thank you for giving me something to do. I know that we all feel empty and powerless here in the comforts of our homes in America, just wishing there was something we could do. So before I chant Psalm 130, I want to offer to all of you that I think what we can do is reach out to our friends, our relatives, those we know who are in Eretz Yisrael right now. I have tried to do that with as many people as I could think of, and I keep getting responses, thank you for reaching out, thank you for caring. So there is something we can all do, and that is to reach out, and also to just hold one another in this space. I'm so glad to be here with all of you. Psalm 130. Shir HaMalot, Mimamikim Kraticha Adonai. Adonai Shima V'Koli, Tien Oznecha Kashuvot L'Kol Tachanunai. Im Avonot Tishmaya Adonai Mi Yamor. Ki imcha slicha leman tivarei. Hiviti Adonai kivta nafshi v'lidvaro. Nafshi Adonai mishomrim laboker. Shomrim laboker. Yachel Yisrael Adonai, Kim Adonai HaChesed, V'harbe imo fedut. V'hu yifteh et Yisrael mikol avonoto.
Thank you. Thank you for uplifting those words and inviting us into. I'm really ruminating on the words of mercy and this call for mercy for so many in this moment. We'll now call on Rabbi Sharon Brous, who will lead us in the prayer for captives.
Hi, everyone. I'm really grateful for the opportunity for all of us to be together. One of our beloved community members, Hannah Roth, handed me this prayer on Shabbat morning, just as we were starting to learn about what was unfolding, and I shared it with our community. But I was so struck that we belong to a people that has a prayer in our Siddur for when our people are taken captive against their will, and the brokenheartedness that our whole community experiences when such a thing happens, and that actually gives us a chance to do something with our anguish. I'm holding so many loved ones in my heart, as I know that we all are, including several people who have been abducted and whom we have not heard from. There's a moment where I'll pause in the first part of the prayer, and if there's somebody who you're holding, just want to invite you to say their name wherever you are, and we'll hopefully be able to lift up with all of our love them and their loved ones and their families. And I just want to draw us not only to the anguish that this prayer offers, but also to the fact that it ends with Simcha and Sason and Rina, that even in the deepest anguish in our tradition, we always imagine that we might one day come to a place of joy and redemption. And it's hard to muster the strength to believe that in moments like these, when we read what we read about, for example, this morning about the babies at Kfar Aza. And even still, we hold our hope for a better future. Mishberach Avotinu Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarah Rivka Leah Rachel, Yosef Moshe v'Aaron, David u'Shlomo, hu yivarech v'yishmor v'yinsor et hashvuyim. B'toch sha'ar achinu Beit Yisrael antunim b'tzara v'shivya. Ba'avor sha'kahal mitpalel ba'avoram HaKadosh Baruch Hu yimaleh rachamim alehem. V'yotzi'em mechoshech v'tzal mavet u'mosrotehem v'yinatek u'mimitzukotehem yishu'em. V'yishivem mehera l'chik mishpachotehem. Yodu l'Adonai chasto v'niflaotav livnei adam. V'kuyam bahem mikrasha katuv ufduye Hashem yishuvun uva'u tzion berina v'simchat olam al rosham sason v'simcha yasigu v'nasu yagon v'anacha v'nomar.
Amen. Thank you. And we hold all of those so deeply who have been taken, who we haven't heard from, who are missing. And we hold so much grief and pain for those who have lost lives in this moment and in other moments of conflict and as a result of occupation. And we know that we're grieving so many Israeli lives. And as we grieve Israeli lives, we also are aware that there are so many innocent civilians dying in Gaza and Palestinians who are dying. And we lift up the pain of mothers, Palestinian and Israeli mothers, who come together knowing that the pain of grief is so universal and tragically quite familiar in that region. We'll read the mother's prayer, words that are built to hold us and plea and hope for a world of justice and peace. Let us light candles for peace. Two mothers, one plea. Now more than ever, during these days of so much crying, on the day that is sacred to both of our religions, Friday, Sabbath Eve, Let us light a candle in every home for peace, a candle to illuminate our future face to face, a candle across borders beyond fear. From our family, homes, and houses of worship, let us light each other up. Let these candles be a lighthouse to our spirit until we all arrive at the sanctuary of peace. Amen. I'll now hand it over to Rabbi Jill Jacobs.
Thank you so much. I want to thank so much Rabbi Jenna Shaw and Rabbi Claudia Kreiman, Rabbi Amichai Lau-Lavie, and Cantor Nancy Abramson, and Rabbi Sharon Brous for holding us, for being here in the space that we all desperately needed. We, in the days, weeks, months ahead, we know that we're going to come back together to hold each other, to pray together, to act together in ways that hopefully we can do in order to save lives. And I just want to say that I really appreciate all of you and appreciate being together in this community. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. We look forward to being together and holding and grieving together in the coming weeks and months ahead.